Throughout history, nature has unleashed forces so powerful they have reshaped continents and ended countless lives in an instant. Earthquakes that swallow cities, floods that drown entire regions, and storms that wipe out everything in their path. These disasters remind us that, for all our technology, we remain at the mercy of the planet we live on. Today we're counting down the 10 deadliest natural disasters in recorded history, ranked by their staggering loss of life. Stay until the end, because our number 1 claimed more lives than almost any single event humanity has ever endured. Let's begin. Starting at number 10 is one of history's most famous catastrophes, the eruption that destroyed Pompeii. In the year 79, the volcano Vesuvius erupted with terrifying violence, burying the Roman city under meters of ash and rock in a matter of hours. Thousands of people were killed almost instantly by scorching clouds of gas and debris. The ash that buried them also preserved the city in eerie detail, leaving behind haunting plaster casts of victims in their final moments. Rediscovered centuries later, Pompeii offers a chilling window into the past and a permanent reminder of how quickly a peaceful day can turn into unimaginable disaster. At number 9 is a disaster that shook not just a city, but the thinking of an entire era. In 1755, a massive earthquake struck Lisbon, Portugal, on a major religious holiday when churches were packed with people. The violent shaking collapsed buildings across the city and was quickly followed by a devastating tsunami and raging fires that consumed what remained. Tens of thousands lost their lives in a single morning. The sheer scale of the destruction stunned the world and influenced philosophers and scientists for generations. It marked one of the first times humanity tried to understand such catastrophes through reason rather than superstition alone. Number 8 is one of the deadliest disasters of modern times, the Indian Ocean tsunami of 2004. It began with a colossal undersea earthquake, one of the most powerful ever recorded, which sent enormous waves racing across the ocean at the speed of a jet plane. Without warning, walls of water slammed into coastlines across multiple countries, sweeping away entire communities in minutes. Around 230,000 people lost their lives across more than a dozen nations. The tragedy led to the creation of new early warning systems, but it remains a heartbreaking example of how suddenly the sea can turn into an unstoppable force of destruction. At number 7 is the deadliest tropical cyclone ever recorded, the Bola cyclone of 1970. It struck the low-lying coastal region of what is now Bangladesh, driving a massive storm surge inland across densely populated areas. With little warning and nowhere to escape to, hundreds of thousands of people were swept away by the rising water. Estimates of the death toll range as high as 500,000. The catastrophe overwhelmed the region and had lasting political consequences, contributing to enormous upheaval in the years that followed. It stands as a grim testament to the deadly danger posed by powerful storms in vulnerable, flood-prone regions. Number 6 takes us back many centuries to one of the deadliest earthquakes in history, which struck near Aleppo in the year 1138. The region sat along a major fault line, and the violent quake reduced the city and surrounding settlements to rubble. With buildings made largely of stone and mud, the collapse was catastrophic, trapping and killing vast numbers of people. Historical accounts suggest the death toll reached into the hundreds of thousands, though exact figures from so long ago are impossible to confirm. It remains one of the worst seismic disasters ever documented, a reminder that earthquakes have threatened human civilization for as long as cities have existed. At number 5 is one of the deadliest earthquakes of the 20th century, which devastated the Chinese city of Tangshan in 1976. Striking in the middle of the night while most people were asleep, the powerful quake flattened the industrial city in moments, giving residents almost no chance to escape. Buildings crumbled across a vast area, and the official death toll was placed in the hundreds of thousands, with some estimates running even higher. The disaster struck during a period of great turmoil in the country, complicating the response. The rebuilding of Tangshan became a symbol of recovery, but the loss of life remains staggering. Number 4 may be the deadliest natural disaster of the entire 20th century, the catastrophic China floods of 1931. After years of drought followed by extreme rains and melting snow, the country's great rivers burst their banks, submerging an enormous area of land. Entire regions vanished beneath the water, destroying crops, homes, and whole cities. The flooding triggered famine and disease that compounded the disaster, and the total death toll is believed to have reached into the millions. It was a slow-moving catastrophe of almost unimaginable scale, demonstrating how flooding, combined with starvation and illness, can become one of the most lethal threats humanity has ever faced. At number 3 are the recurring floods of China's Yellow River, sometimes called the river that brings sorrow. For thousands of years, this mighty waterway has overflowed its banks with devastating regularity, and several individual floods rank among the deadliest events in history. One particularly catastrophic flood in the late 1800s is thought to have killed well over 1 million people. The river carries vast amounts of sediment that raise its bed over time, making the surrounding plains tragically vulnerable to sudden, massive flooding. Generation after generation, communities along its banks have faced the same deadly threat, making the Yellow River one of the most dangerous in the world. Coming in at number 2 is the deadliest earthquake ever recorded, which struck the Shaanxi region of China in 1556. What made it so uniquely catastrophic was that many people in the area lived in dwellings carved directly into soft cliffs of earth. When the powerful quake struck, these caves collapsed instantly, burying enormous numbers of people. Historical records suggest the death toll reached an almost incomprehensible 830,000. The scale of the loss is difficult to grasp, even today. It stands as a sobering example of how the way people live and build can dramatically increase the deadly toll of a natural disaster. And finally, at number 1, is one of the single deadliest natural disasters in all of recorded history, the Great Yellow River Flood of 1887. After heavy rains, the river overwhelmed the dikes built to contain it and surged across the densely populated plains of central China. An immense area of farmland and countless villages were swallowed by the water. The flooding destroyed the harvest and was followed by famine and disease, multiplying the tragedy. Estimates of the total death toll range from 900,000 to well over 1 million people. It remains a haunting reminder of nature's power to unleash devastation on an almost unimaginable scale. And those are 10 of the deadliest natural disasters in human history. Each one is a sobering reminder of nature's immense and uncontrollable power, and of the resilience of those who survive and rebuild. Which of these disasters did you find most shocking? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this video powerful, please give it a like, subscribe for more, and share it with others. Thanks for watching, and take care.